They said the planet Dravalis was home to the deadliest creatures in the galaxy, titanic beasts with armored scales, molten breath, and eyes that could paralyze prey with a glance. Dragons, though no one from Earth had ever seen one up close, not and lived. So when a little human girl was kidnapped and taken there, everyone assumed she was as good as dead. But something strange happened. Her name was Lyra. She was 6 years old, barely waist-high to an adult, with wide brown eyes and hair tied in 2 uneven braids. She'd been taken from her outpost on the frontier colony of Cygnus, for during a pirate raid, the pirates had planned to ransom her until their ship malfunctioned mid-warp and crash-landed on the worst possible planet, Dravalis. Only Lyra survived. She crawled from the wreckage, face smudged with ash, clothes torn, clutching the only thing left from home, her stuffed rabbit, Bunny Boo. The air was heavy with the scent of sulfur and something deeper, ancient and living. She wandered. For hours, she called out for her mother, her father, her older brother Milo, but only silence answered. Then she saw it, a shadow across the sun. It wasn't a cloud. The dragon landed with a quake that sent Lyra tumbling back. Its wings were black as obsidian, its eyes golden, and it exhaled smoke from nostrils wider than her head. Lyra froze. She stared up, tiny and shaking, as the monstrous beast leaned closer. She could see her reflection in one of its eyes, a trembling little girl with a rabbit in her arms. And she did something no one else would ever think to do. She said, "Hello?" Vortex was the oldest of the Dravalis broods, a legend among his kind. He had slain skyships, melted steel with his flame, and shattered mountains with his roar. He had once been called the Apex. But he had never seen a creature like this. Small, soft-skinned, fragile, and unafraid. She had spoken to him. No fear. No weapon. Just a greeting. The other dragons had sensed her too. They came from the cliffs and caverns, massive winged shadows that surrounded the girl in a great circle. There were 6 of them in all: Vortex, Emberfang, Steelmaw, Cryspine, Blightbreath, and Glimmerwing. Each of them had killed beings far more dangerous than a human child. Yet none of them moved. "She is nothing," Blightbreath hissed, his breath wilting the blackened grass around him. "She should burn." "She is strange," said Glimmerwing, the youngest, her wings glittering like diamond. "She does not cry." "She greeted me," Vortex said at last. "She is lost," rumbled Steelmaw. "Not a threat. Not food. Just lost." Lyra looked around at the monsters. "Are you all dragons?" she asked. "Like in the stories?" They blinked. "I had a dream about a dragon once," she said softly. "He was sad. He didn't want to be alone." Vortex lowered his head further, nostrils flaring. That was a feeling he knew. "Why are you not afraid?" Cryspine asked, voice like wind over ice. "Because I don't think you're bad," Lyra replied, hugging Bunnyboo tighter. "You look angry, but maybe you're just hurt, like my brother gets when he has a nightmare." There was silence among the dragons. Then Emberfang laughed, a deep, rolling growl of fire. "She speaks like a hatchling." "She is a hatchling," said Glimmerwing. "A human hatchling," corrected Blightbreath, curling his tail around himself. Vortex turned his gaze to the stars above, then looked down again. She came from the sky, alone. Her kind never comes alone. "She was taken," said Cryspine. "We watched, by those that crash and burn." Lyra frowned. "The bad men, they're gone now." "Dead," Emberfang said, "unworthy of being called hunters." Vortex stepped forward. The ground cracked beneath him. "What should be done with you, little sky child?" he asked, voice thundering through the clearing. Lyra looked up at him and answered, "Can you help me find my family?" The dragons all stiffened. No one asked dragons for help. Not ever. but something about her voice. Glimmerwing was the first to step forward, curling her neck low. "What is that in your arms?" Lyra looked at Bunny Boo. "It's my friend. He's soft. You can touch him if you want." And she held out the little plush rabbit. No one had ever offered a dragon anything, let alone a child's treasure. Glimmerwing nudged it gently with her snout. "Strange," she whispered. "It feels kind." Lyra smiled. The dragons gathered in a circle later that dusk, when the sun melted behind the mountains like liquid gold. Lyra sat near a warm outcrop of rock, eating a piece of fruit Glimmerwing had found her. Bunny Boo was tucked in her lap. "She is not prey," Vortex declared, "nor threat." "Then what?" Blightbreath sneered. "She is something else." "An envoy," suggested Steelmaw. "The humans never send them. Not to us." "She was not sent," said Cryspine. "She fell and lived." "That means something," said Vortex. "Perhaps she is meant to be here." The dragons were silent. Then a new voice echoed from the sky. "Engines. Human. A rescue ship." Lyra saw the bright white shuttle descend from the clouds. She stood, waving with all her might. "Here. I'm here." The dragons rose together, wings spread. Some growled low. "It's my people." Lyra said, "They came for me." The shuttle landed. 3 armored humans stepped out, weapons drawn. Then they saw the dragons and panicked. "Dragons, get her out of there." One fired. The shot hit Glimmerwing in the chest. Not a fatal wound, but enough to enrage every dragon at once. Emberfang roared, fire spiraling into the sky. Blightbreath hissed and prepared to charge. "No!" Lyra screamed, running in front of them. She spread her arms. "Stop! They don't know. They're scared too." The dragons froze, caught mid-breath. "She protects them?" Steelmaw muttered. "She protects us from them," said Glimmerwing, wincing slightly. The soldiers paused too, confused. One of them lowered his weapon and looked closely. "Wait, that's her. That's the girl." The man stepped forward, slowly, nervously. "Lyra?" She nodded. "Don't shoot them. They helped me." The soldier looked between the girl and the circle of massive dragons around her. "Helped. They kept me warm, gave me food, talked to me." The soldier's mouth moved wordlessly. Then he touched his comms. We're going to need a diplomatic channel. I think we made first contact. It was the beginning of something new. Not war, not fear, but understanding." Lyra became the bridge between 2 worlds. The little girl who saw past scales and fire and ancient wrath, and found hearts that still remembered what it meant to protect. And the dragons remembered her always, not as prey nor pest nor accident, but as one of them, the sky child with the rabbit in her arms, and the courage to say hello.